ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and outsiders of all ages, it's almost game time, and it is show 3 of the week for the Outsiders. When you wake up tomorrow, it's going to be September, and you're going to be 1 day away from the first big weekend of college football. But tonight, we are going to roll through it one more time with the Outsiders' perspective, which can always be a little messed up here on Orangebloods Live. We appreciate you being with us. Subscribe to the channel. Get those notifications set up so you know when all the shows are firing up. Let me introduce you to your Outsiders. Your upper left is the quarterback. That is Chance Mock, ladies and gentlemen. Sweet OB sign in the background. That Woodlands helmet never hurt anybody. Your lower right tonight is Jason Dick, radio legend at Jason Dick AF. You just never know what he might say, radio or otherwise. Today was the example of that. Good to see you, Jason. And lower left was your country gorilla himself. It is Bo Edge. He's flashing those hook'em horns. The voice of the people is not here tonight. Why? Because he is out and about in amongst the people, coaching the children of the athletic world. Maybe not coaching, just watching. Is it coaching or watching or both?
He is one of the coaches for the Banditos.
Okay, so that's it. He's not only saying I'm going to go support the kids. He is stepping up and saying, "Give me a whistle and get out of my way." So, Chris, we hope you're having a good game, a good time, and he will be away from us for Thursdays for a little bit, and then back with us for those Monday and Wednesday shows. So this is our first Thursday show in season.
If we need someone with no credentials in the dark, I can totally do that. I can be that guy.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how Chad gave a baseball coach a whistle.
Oh, it is baseball. That's not good. That's not good. You don't do whistles in baseball? That gets their attention, though, right?
It would definitely get their attention, but I think you could go Roy Kent and just go whistle. Whistle.
All right, that's fair. That's totally fair. All right, so as we get started tonight, again, it is going to be Texas and Rice. First off, we remind you, the Outsiders brought to you by Poncho Outdoors, PonchoOutdoors.com. If you are an outsider, as in you like to be outside a lot, Poncho is a great way to do that. You see Colton, that badass camo. He's not just wearing it because he looks cool. He's wearing it because he feels cool right now. It is a very lightweight, great fabric shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve. The guys brag about the hoodies all the time. There's Colt fishing in one of those burnt orange long sleeve numbers with the mother of pearl snaps. Check them out, PonchoOutdoors.com. All right, game one is almost here. Oh, yeah, you got to get the OB sign on. Come on, Chance.
Well, while he's turning the OB sign on, his son stole his phone again and is talking smack to Chris Abbott, the man of the people, via the chat line.
Wow, that is just, what is going on? I can't believe he thinks he could skip. # no days off. Well,
what a professional operation, Chris.
All we need is your dogs, Jay.
Yeah. You know what
Bogey,
that is, Chance?
where you at?
Here's what that is, Chance. You'd have had the lights on if they were playing Bama. You realize that, right? You'd have had the lights on if they were playing Bama. That was a Rice mindset.
I got to get focused.
You are eating the cheese, Chance Mock. That's what's going on right now.
I got to get focused. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. It's game week. We got to get focused. I'm sorry.
So back in the day, I remember Mac Brown saying it, and I know you do too, about you only get 12 opportunities to do this. I guess back then it might have been 11 opportunities, and now it's 12, and you hope more opportunities. But trying to get the guys pumped up, ready to go, even though it's that first game of the year, there's that weird thing about Bama's a week away, and they've got to get ready to go. So as we start here, Chance, we want to get some of your breakdown on the game, Texas and Rice, from what you've been able to see and what you think we're going to see from Texas and Rice. What jumps out to you immediately in this matchup?
Well, at first when y'all told me I needed to break down the Rice game, I started looking up all my favorite chicken fried rice recipes. And then I was informed that it's not just smart people that go there. They actually have a football team. Yeah. So I had to reboot everything and come back to it. But look, so when you look at this Rice team, I think the first thing that jumps out at you is, and we've talked about it all week and everybody, so I don't want to belittle it, is the JT Daniels thing, right? I mean, he comes out of high school and he's a 5-star, he's supposed to be all world. He's only thrown for 7,000 yards, which in today's college game is not that much. USC, Georgia. No, I'm sorry. I got that messed up. But anyway.
USC, West Virginia.
And so
Georgia in the middle. He just didn't play there, right?
He did make a stop there, but he never played.
Right.
And so this is going to be his third time to play at Texas. It's a very interesting kind of deal, but he doesn't have the cast around him. That's the issue. And when you look at Rice on film, one thing that's going to be a big deal is their secondary. They don't have much length in the secondary, and that's going to cause real problems. Their secondary is decent. I mean, I don't want to rag on these guys, but you heard BJ say it. He's like, dude, y'all can't cover. Y'all suck. That's what it is. And so with the height and the length that our receivers provide, I think this is a game where Texas has an opportunity. You're not going to get man-to-man. They can't physically play man-to-man. And so you should have some shots at some deep balls. You should have some holes that are open over the middle of the field that should be great. That front seven on defense for them, their line is okay. Their linebackers are okay. If we can't run the ball against Rice, and I think we need to run the ball against Rice, we need to establish that run. But I think it's a game like we talked about last night. Let's throw a bunch of stuff out there. Throw some motions. Throw some packages. Throw some different formations. Let them see a lot. It's not that you have to completely open your playbook, but give them a little bit of taste of everything. Set up what you might be wanting to do next week. And the main thing, go out and take care of business.
Yeah, and the other thing for me, Jason, is the mindset. I love that idea from Chance. It's the mindset you need to take into Alabama. If you're running basic stuff against Rice, and then I'm expecting you to go to T-Town and then come up with all this cool stuff, how about practicing the cool stuff in game one?
Yeah, this is it's a game that you really can't lose. Like, I don't know of a way that Texas could find a way to lose this game, even if it is a traditional sort of trap game setup with Alabama next week. But I think that's what's really key is how can you use this opponent, this weaker opponent, to ready yourself for Alabama next week. I don't know if there is a way to do so, but this is your only tune-up before you're playing one of the best teams in the country.
Well, and I think this game, more than any, is when you're going to know if all the stuff you've heard in spring and summer about the lines and all this stuff, if our interior offensive line can't open holes in the middle against the Rice defensive front, and no, they're not bad, Chance, but if they can't open holes against Rice's front seven, then we're screwed against Alabama. We're not going to be able to compete against like teams that like to clog the middle, like K-State, like TCU. If we can't move Rice off the ball with our interior offensive linemen, that's a problem. Yes, we can go to the flash and we can throw it over their heads and complete bombs and use JT Sanders over the seam and all that. But we can't run Jonathan Brooks and Cedric Baxter between the hedges. We have a problem moving for the entire season.
Yeah, I would agree that. Yeah, center and guards have to be big. Texas might have a disadvantage against Bama anyway on the interior line, but it's going to really feel bad if Rice stops Texas. By the way, we invite you in tonight on the Specs chat line. Shout out to Specs for that. We'll tell you more about them in a second. Travis says, "Hook 'em, guys. Who do y'all think scores first against Rice? Anybody got a name for me? Assuming it's not Auburn and a kick. Give me somebody that you think might score first. Jason Dick, what do you like?"
I mean, Xavier Worthy's the best offensive weapon for the Horns, so I call dibs on Xavier Worthy. I call him.
That's a good one. Probably a long pass if we know Steve Sarkisian. Bo, if it's not X-Man, what do you think?
I think it's Cedric Baxter. I think Jonathan Brooks will start the game. I think Cedric Baxter will come in and it'll be like the fifth or sixth play, and all of a sudden that'll be like, obviously this is a bold prediction, but I think Cedric Baxter breaks one on the first drive and takes the job. Like, that's what everybody's looking for. Like, I was coaching youth football today. You're telling the guys, who's going to go take the job? Y'all are now given an opportunity in the spotlight. When you get in the game, who's going to go take their position for the rest of the year? I think Cedric Baxter was the number one running back in the country by some services for a reason. And I think when he hits the field and they do open at the hole and the interior offensive line does their job, Baxter breaks one.
Bo, have you released your youth football depth chart yet?
It's a work in progress because we only have 14 guys now.
Still position battles. Only 14.
Only 14 and you can't come up with a depth chart?
Not quite a two deep yet. That's a 7.
It's more about how do we get 11 on the field.
That's a 7x2 is what that is, Chance. That's a 7x2. That's a different.
2 broken wrists, a broken finger.
It's a different
stomach bug.
Injury bug got you early. That's no good.
Oh, yeah, we got bit hard.
That's a different deal. All right, Chance.
My son weighs 75 pounds and he's starting on the offensive line.
That's good.
Against 140 pounders.
That's what you want. A 75-pound pulling guard.
He's a center.
Chance, give me another name. Who do you want to see score early?
A.D. Mitchell.
Yep.
I love him, and we're going to get to him later. Bo stole really who I think probably gets it, because I do think I think C.J. Baxter probably does break one out early. I think that's the way they drive. But if they hit one long, they're going to do everything they can to make sure Worthy doesn't get open. That's just what they're going to do. They're going to double him because everybody knows A.D. Mitchell's a guy that, man, he was really clicking on all cylinders before he got hurt and was doing a lot of big things. Like, he's got the ability to be a big play receiver. But just running back to this game and getting up for it, and Rice, right? This is the little kid on the block that you want to make a statement to everybody else on the block. You don't mess around with them. This is a game where you go out and you try to make highlight plays. You're trying to pancake guys. This is like the blind side. And these linemen ought to be – you remember in the blind side when he finally gets pissed off and he runs the guy all the way off the field and throws him over the fence? Like, that's what kind of thing needs to happen in this game. Because if we're going to be the team, and I'm going to have my beard when I go to Buffalo in a couple of weeks, then this needs to be a team that starts week one with that pissed off attitude. Like, have that attitude. Be like, we're Texas. You're coming into here. And I used to play mind games with myself, and I would talk myself into thinking these dudes really think they can beat us. They really like it was a disrespectful thing to me. And I knew that in the back of their mind, they knew they weren't going to come in and beat us. But it was the fact that they wanted to step on the field with us, that they thought they could play with us, used to piss me off. And is that a good way to look at it? I don't know. It worked for me, though, because, I mean, I didn't have any problem getting up for games because I felt like the fact that you were challenging me was like, we're stepping in a boxing ring and you think you can beat me. So let's see what you got.
Yeah, I think taking that will quickly is a big thing. By the way, shout out to Jonas and others on the chat line. They're in my frame of mind. How about a little JT Sanders for that first touchdown? Jonas, I totally agree. I want to see the big tight end as well. Another one for Sanders from Monty. They are in the Zero Club wanting Sanders to be the guy that gets the first touchdown. Thank you for jumping in on the Specs chat. And again, remember, Specs Wine, Spirits, and Finer Foods, 4-time National Retailer of the Year. They've been around since 1962. That's right, 1962. They've been doing it at Specs. And if you need a little help this weekend getting your watch party together, go to specsonline.com for a ton of hand-picked recipes. Their mixologists are experts at this. They spend all day doing it. They will help you get your party together. Specs, thanks so much for being a partner on the show and on Orangebloods Live. Get out to your local Specs and get all stocked up. All right, it is the Outsiders getting ready for the game on Saturday, Texas and Rice. Before we go any further, Chance, we got to talk a little Bet US. Are you getting the itch? Are you feeling the tingle going up and down your spine with the first weekend coming?
Oh, it's here. It's here. And I do have the itch. I do have the bug. I cannot stop by any sports book on my way to Gulf Shores, Alabama without placing a bet. And now with betus.com, I've got the ability to do it from my couch. I can watch games. They've got the best lines. They got the best bonuses. And you don't have to wait for them to ship your money in seas, overseas, and everything. It's available. When you go out and you win that money, it's available. I've got my account set up. I've got my games picked for this weekend. There's a couple more. We'll discuss some this afternoon. I mean, later in the show, but there is more coming. And I'm telling you, the ease of which this site works is phenomenal. I mean, I got a bunch of guys signed up today, and they're like, this is the easiest thing ever. I don't have a bookie chasing me because it's all transacted right here, and we're good to go.
Beautiful, beautiful. And we will get into some picks here in just a second, talking some more Bet US, big games going on throughout the weekend. And tonight we got some games. So far, it's not much of a game with Utah and Florida. Utah handling their business. Nebraska, Minnesota kind of close, 7-3 in the third quarter. Those games going on tonight. Normally during our Thursday shows, we will also have an NFL game going on. We're a week away from Lions-Chiefs to get things cranked up. I know our producer Blake's excited about that since he is a Chiefs guy. He wants to see Mahomes take Dan Campbell and the Lions out next week. So we'll be, I'm sure, mentioning a little bit about that. It is the Outsiders. Obviously, we focus in on Texas and what's going on there. But we do have some picks to talk about this week, gentlemen. Bet US, as Chance was just talking to you about, it's going to bring you the pick segment every week. Now, Bo, let's lay out how this is going to work. We're all picking games every week, and we're going to keep track and keep score and all that.
3 games. Now we got to figure out what the punishments are. or because it's not really about prizes, because we'll be using BetUS, so the prize is readily apparent. You pick 3 winners, you're going to be real happy the rest of the week. But we need to have some kind of punishment amongst ourselves if you go 0-3.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I feel like, should we not just open that up to the chat line? Let's open it up to the text line. See what people think we should have to do.
You're going to let them decide the punishment?
Hey, I'm a glutton for punishment, Chad.
Come on now.
You're an Aggie. You should be conditioned for a glutton for punishment.
Dude, they're gonna have me like hitting Big Bertha or going to like clean Smokey the Cannon. They're gonna have me doing something like that. You realize that? I'm gonna have to clean, like I'm gonna have to go and like sweep up below the tower or something.
No, because just texted for all of us.
We have a fantasy football league here, and the punishment for the loser was you had to get in a dog crate with a cage for 2 minutes, and everybody else in the league got to throw whatever expired food, liquid, just whatever they wanted to hit you with for 2 minutes. You had to get in the cage. But we shifted that because people didn't like it. So now
they didn't like that. Oh my gosh!
Imagine that. They call that hazing. That's
so now it's
bullying
chauffeur
and hazing.
for a day.
We're not doing that.
So whoever wins the league gets to make the last place person put on a suit or a tuxedo and take 10 people around from sun up all the way till midnight. Chauffeur or sober driver for the whole group.
I like Brandon's idea.
Brandon, recreate General Booty commercial.
But only if we had the clip of John David's brother in his underwear.
I don't know if I can find 2 people as creepy as that guy and girl that were staring into the camera at me. I don't know if I can find
Those
anybody.
are the most Oklahoma people of all time.
Those I don't know what was going on with that. That's absolutely crazy. All right, so let's get into these picks here. Do we also have Chris's picks? Did he leave those with us before he left?
Yeah, he sent them in by fax machine.
Okay, so we throwing the picks up. Are we doing this individually? How does this work?
I think Blake was going to throw them up, and we could go 1-to-1. Each one say why you're picking what you're picking.
Let me hop on. We just want to throw the graphic up, get it going.
Yeah, let's put it up there.
Okay, just unveiling everything at the same time. All right, Bo, let's start with you in the upper left.
I got Clemson minus 12.5 against Duke. I think this is Cade Klubnik's come out season, and I think Dabo really wants to put it on Duke. And this is another battle of the smart kids, as Chance alluded to with Texas and Rice. I think Clemson wants to paste one up there and establish Klubnik as the guy right out of the gate. So I think they don't go vanilla, and I think they hammer it. For the second one, I think Tech is way over their skis. Joey McGuire is spending all his time running his mouth instead of actually coaching a team to be successful. I think Wyoming may win the game outright, but they're sure as hell going to cover 14 because Tech's not that good. And the last one, it wasn't a bet for UMass. It was a bet against Hugh Freeze. I don't think Hugh Freeze has got everything in like Chance, you can talk about this later, but installing a brand new offense like Hugh Freeze's offense, there's going to be hiccups in game one, especially with a new quarterback. Nothing works quite right. I think UMass, they're going to get beat. It's going to be bad, but I think they hang within 5 touchdowns because UMass likes to run that pass-happy spread too. So even if they get down 49, they can get you that backdoor cover in the last 4 or 5 minutes, just running and gunning. So those are my 3 picks: Clemson, Wyoming, and UMass.
Gotcha. Let's move over to the middle top for Chance, getting off to a great start. Mock. Chance, how about that first game, brother?
I would love to accuse you of cheating, Chance, but you would not have picked that side.
No, I wouldn't have. I thought they'd keep it a little I thought it was a 3-point game easy. And really and truly at halftime, it should have been a 17-14 game. 17-13 game. If they don't jump off sides on a 4th and 1, miss a field goal, get a block in the back on a freaking punt that gives Utah the freaking ball back. But there's still a little bit of time left. I'm hoping on that one.
Hey,
Look,
Blake, do you have a magic eraser for Chance?
Yeah, right. Can we just scratch that?
You know what? I know that the people want to see me in the General Booty commercial, so just shut your mouth.
Takes 115.
Shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
That's going to be the problem. We're going to get to the Texas game, and if Texas doesn't cover 35, then Chance is going to be rocking General Booty underwear, and I'm going to have to be rooting against Texas scoring the last touchdown just for the humiliation factor.
Yeah.
Well, this is a season-long deal, Mr. Bo. Don't you worry. But then the big game for me, the big game of the weekend, I think one everybody's looking at is that LSU Florida State game. Huge game. I think what Brian Kelly did last year, what LSU in general has going on with all their sports programs is really exciting. But I think there's a lot of excitement around that football program. It's a -2 game. I think not only does LSU win, I think they win by 5-7. And I think it's going to be a phenomenal game on a Sunday night. And as far as Texas goes, man, I'm just going to be honest. I think this is a blowout game. We'll get to it later on. I don't think Rice has the firepower to score, and I think Texas has weapons all over the field, and I think that's an easy cover.
All right. My games are upper right there. I think U of H wins the close, but UTSA is going to win the game. So I'll say they win by more than 2. I think Saban is pissed with all of his quarterback issues and everything he's been here. And I think they're going to bludgeon Middle Tennessee State. I think they'll cover 39. And Penn State, I dare you to make me wrong. West Virginia plus 20.5. I'm getting almost 3 full touchdowns. Penn State, a team that I always feel like comes out of the gate a little bit sluggish. Let's see it, Penn State. West Virginia plus 20.5. The lower left there is Jason. Jason, starting out with out in the islands there.
Yeah, of course. I just want to warn all of the Outsiders loyalists that whole top row of picks, take those to Bet US if you hate money, okay? Just basically the whole. You know what? Chad has Alabama -39, so I'm going to go with that as well. But yeah, I'm gonna start.
Wait a minute. You think Florida State beats LSU?
LSU laying points on the road? What are we talking about here, man?
It's a neutral site game. I was going to say
that's probably a neutral site game. Okay, you know what? That's strike 1 for me. Yeah. Give me Hawaii +3. They are hosting the Stanford Cardinal, where it is distraction city. Not only are they practically homeless when it comes to a conference these days, they're going to Hawaii. All these 18, 19, 20-year-old kids going to Hawaii for the first time. You can't focus, okay? You look up there. It's a beautiful mountain, okay? Look at the ocean. They can't focus. They're Hawaii getting points at home. I'll take that. Houston, this one, I had to double check. Houston is a home dog to UTSA. Listen, that is more offensive than me making them the dick move of the week this week, talking smack about Texas. A home, and no disrespect to UTSA. I know they got their 9th year quarterback back again. Go Roadrunners, meep. But this is a Big 12 versus little boy conference pick right here. So if I'm getting points with Houston, give me Houston +2. And Alabama at home versus Middle Tennessee State. I think Saban, not just the quarterback, but his sort of entire offense, he's got to figure it out, because he knows he's got Texas coming in next week. He is not going to ease up off the gas. So give me Alabama -39.
All right.
Hey,
so Jason,
Chad, I'm in agreement with you. I think this is the week that the Big 12 realizes they took the wrong Texas commuter school and wishes they got UTSA and Coach Traylor.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way, and as you see there, Chris is leaning that way as well. So yeah, Jason and I will agree on the Alabama thing, but disagree on Houston and UTSA. Chris likes the UTSA pick, Cal -6.5 for him, and then he likes USC to carry a 38 and a hook. That's a lot to cover, but that Caleb Williams offense looks pretty damn good right now. Blake, you want to back up your picks here? You got 2 Texas vibes and the Tigers.
All right, man. Dion, prove me wrong. I think that roster has gaping holes. I think TCU, while they lost Duggan and some other key pieces, I think they reloaded a little bit in the portal. I just don't have much faith in Colorado at the beginning of this season. Maybe he rallies the troops towards the end, but right now I got TCU by 3 touchdowns at least. And then I got Texas State plus 27.5 against Baylor. GJ Kinney, man, I think I think that was a badass hire for Texas State. I think they're going to be able to put some points on the board. Baylor's going to gash them in the run game, but that's going to run the clock a bit, and Texas State will stay within 4 TDs. And then LSU beating Florida State. Florida State got them last year, 24-23, but I think this year LSU gets them back in the revenge game. And those are my picks.
All right, there you go. The picks of the week, the Bet US picks of the week. Chance again.
Let me tell you all this real quick, because LSU is kind of like my side chick. Okay, like I'm a Longhorn through and through. I bleed orange, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't have some purple and gold in my closet as well. And
I see that LSU helmet out there behind you. I see that LSU mini behind you.
That's right. So, but let me tell you, as somebody that follows LSU football pretty closely, they have been holding on to that loss all year. I mean, that has been a long time coming, and they are going to be pissed off coming to that game. And they're a very talented football team. It's going to be a hell of a game. I mean, it's damn near like an NFL game on Sunday night. It's awesome. A lot of talent on the field. It's going to be a high-intensity game at a neutral site. The crowd's going to be awesome. It's going to be a phenomenal. I'm fired up about that game, and really glad I don't have work the next day.
Yeah, that is good. That is good. Picks of the week brought to you by BetUS. Chance, again, the easiest way for them to get going with BetUS. What are they? Obviously, scanning that QR code is big right now. That's the super easiest way right now.
Yeah, just scan that QR code. It is so easy. You scan it, it'll pop open. You register, you deposit some money. You're on down the road and you're betting games, having fun.
There it is. BetUS sponsoring the pick
Link in
segment
the chat.
and every week.
It's 125% sign-up bonus. So you go in and you deposit your money, and then boom, you have more money.
That sounds good.
It happened to me today when I signed up, and I was like, "Free money! You can go ahead and take my money from the from the Florida game."
Hopefully, you put it all or didn't put it all on Florida.
No,
yeah,
I did not.
hopefully not. Hopefully not. If you guys want to jump in on the Specs chat line, you can do that. We also love those super chats. If you want to throw something in the chip jar, we do appreciate it. If you have a question for any of us about the game and what you think it's going to look like coming up, we will make some season predictions for Texas in terms of who's going to be an MVP, who's going to be a standout player, the overall record. We'll get official for that. I am definitely hearing a lot of Kool-Aid being consumed right now among Longhorn fans. This morning on Orangebloods Live and the Horns Up show. Maybe it was because Kyle Umlang was coming on to rip on the Aggies, but man, there were 11-1s and 12-0s just being sprayed around that show all over the place. We'll see what the outsiders think coming up before we are done. Right now, though, I would like to hear from Chance Mock about somebody chatted earlier, Chance, about what we're drinking. We normally tell them that on a Wednesday. Are you drinking you know what tonight on a Thursday?
It is El Tequilino. Isn't it wonderful? No, look, it's El Tequilino. It is delicious. It is fantastic. 1959, they started distilling, and it is some fantastic tequila. It's smooth. You can just pour it over ice and enjoy it. You can even put it in a margarita. You can make it a martini, or like I do, just put it with some water, a little lemon juice. It is absolutely phenomenal. 1959. Now, I think there's a little bit of a coincidence here because Specs Fine Spirits started in 1962. El Tequilino started in 1959. Two fantastic brands coming on the scene at the same time, both with massive amounts of credit with what they do. Matter of fact, you get El Tequilino over at Specs. You'll love it. Your other half will love it. And I promise you, I love it every day.
We know that. We know that for sure. And yes, as Chance just told you, if you're looking for a place to get that great tequila, here is a reminder of where you can get it from that legendary lady herself. Here we go.
No matter what you're needing, Specs same-day delivery can save the day with our Specs app or online shopping. From world-class wines to hard-to-find spirits and craft beers to gourmet foods, delicious snacks, and spectacular sweets. It's Specs. Cheers to savings.
I hope she takes this the right way. Every time I see her, I want to drink. I don't know why. Every time I see her, I want to drink.
You know why that bunny's so happy? Because he's drinking El Tequilino.
That's what it is. The bunny has figured out the tequila of choice.
And the texters seem to be happy with you referencing LSU as your side chick. Except for they're calling her your spicy side chick, your dirty side chick, your Cajun side chick.
Hey, whatever happens in the red stick stays in the red stick, my friend.
The side chick with a side of boudin. Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Yeah.
Casey's boudin did.
Side of etouffee.
I'm telling you this because I'm your friend. BetUS has live betting, including Florida plus 20.5. So all they have to do is not lose the fourth quarter. You can get even right now, buddy.
Oh,
you can't hedge when you're losing by 3 scores. But yeah, there's
I can load up on the second half at the plus 20.5.
There you go.
Apparently, there's a new definition to the word hedge.
Yeah, just throw more money at it. Throw good money after bad. That's how it works.
That is how it works. That's the way to do it. All right. Check all that out. We got that game going tonight. We got Texas and Rice coming up on Saturday. By the way, speaking of Cajun food, we will tell you about stuffed before we get out of here as well. Let's talk about some season predictions, fellas, for the Texas Longhorns. Let's go around the horn first on how about offensive MVP for the year? Jason Dick, what do you think?
Well, by the rules of MVP, should we just disqualify Quinn Ewers? I mean, it's going to be the quarterback, right? I would assume if things go as we plan this season, if they don't go disastrously, it would have to be Quinn Ewers. But for the spirit of conversation, I know I said Xavier Worthy is the best offensive player earlier, but I'm feeling the chat vibes, and I would probably go Jatavian Sanders. Just because of the unique thing that he brings at the tight end position. There's they got a lot of weapons on the outside at receiver. I think if JT Sanders has a big season, that's great for Texas.
Oh, you're speaking my language with a tight end. I like that. Bo Edge, what do you think on the offensive side?
I'm gonna take the same path that Jason did. The obvious answer is Quinn Ewers, because if Texas is gonna do all the things that we predicted, Quinn's gonna have a big year. But I'm going with the guy I said was going to score the first touchdown, because I really think in the evolution of Texas freshman running backs, there's been just a few. I think Cedric Baxter is the next one. I think Cedric Baxter, Jonathan Brooks is a great running back, and he'll get his touches. But from Ced Benson to Ricky Williams to Bijan, there's a long list. When they get the ball and they start getting that 20 carries, they don't give the ball back anymore. And I think Cedric Baxter starts to establish himself against Rice, his coming out parties against Alabama, and he takes the job and runs with it all the way to the MVP of the team.
Man, I don't use the A word very often, Bo, but it is flat out adorable that you think Steve Sarkisian is going to hand the ball to anyone. That is so adorable. Chance Mock, offensive MVP. What do you think?
Well, I got to go back to, since Bo stole my first touchdown, but I am going to go back to the guy that I took, because I think A.D. Mitchell comes back this year. I think he leads the team in receiving touchdowns. I really do. I think the guy's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I'm just telling you, put it in the books. Okay. We'll put a bet on that one. I really do think he is a massive threat, not only in the red zone, but I think he's a massive threat in the open field, and I think he's going to get a lot of targets. I think Xavier Worthy is going to get a ton of attention because everybody knows his speed and everything. And I think A.D. Mitchell, I think, is the guy that comes out of the transfer portal and makes a huge statement for Texas.
I think if I had to pick one guy, I will go to that, the obvious of, I think it is Xavier Worthy. I think if it all comes together and Texas offense is clicking, I think Xavier Worthy is that guy. I think he's going to be a badass by the end of the year and show everybody what he has got. How about defensive MVP by the end of this year, Jason Dick? There's a lot of ways to go here. What are you going to do?
I guess I want to say the entire defensive line, but I'll just go with Ethan Burke. How about some pass rush? Can we step that up for the Horns? This will be the only stat that I offer the entirety of the season. Last year, 1.8 sacks per game. That is embarrassingly low for a program the caliber of the University of Texas that it used to put pass rushers in the NFL at a regular frequency. So let's start sacking the quarterback this season. I'll take the defensive line.
It's a good plan. Bo Edge, what do you think?
I think the answer is obvious. It was the defensive MVP last year, so barring injury, it's Ford. Ford is going to be he's the senior leader of this defense. He's a tackle machine. He's going to have the numbers. But if the season goes the way in Unicorns and Ponyland that I hope it does, the real MVP is going to be Jalen Catalon, because that's an NFL safety that can transform that defense, and he's a thumper. If he can stay healthy and not have his shoulders get hurt, then teams won't want to run against us in the fourth quarter, because Catalon's coming downhill, stacking the box, and he's an SEC safety that's proven at the SEC level. So I would – Catalon, Ford's the obvious answer, kind of like Quinn Ewers. I think Jalen Catalon could be the guy.
Yeah, the Jalen attack on defense, those two guys could be really important. Chance, what do you think on defense?
Since I like to do everything outside the box and I like to throw wild predictions out there, because if my wild predictions come through, I think we're going to be pretty good. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with the freshman, the will/edge rusher on the outside, Anthony Hill. Okay. You talked about that 1.8 sacks last year. There's a chance this kid could lead the team in sacks this year. I mean, he himself could get 8 to 10 sacks by himself. I think the kid is an automatic impact guy. He reminds me of a Corey Redding that came in, and from the day he stepped on campus, he made an impact on the field, and I think that's what he's going to do.
Interesting. The guy I'm going, I think, even further off the beaten path, and I'm going to go with a guy that I think ends up setting up the freshman for big moments. I'm going to go with Baron Sorrell. Maybe it's because his dad is an Orangebloods live guy and we love him so much, but I want to see 88 take that step up and really become a badass on the edge. So I'm going with that V in MVP because you can put different ways of value there. I think Sorrell's going to help to open up other guys, but I also think he's going to have a good season as well. So I'll go with Sorrell. I'll go with Big 88 out on the edge there. All right, fellas, how about a breakout player for Texas? I guess it could be a transfer or, of course, a freshman or a first-time player comes to mind. So breakout player, Jason Dick, who do you like?
That's tough. It depends on your definition of breakout. Okay, I'll do it. Arch Manning. You asked for it, you got it. Arch Manning is going to be playing quarterback. Is going to play quarterback for the Longhorns this season. I've heard enough of this nonsense about how he's not going to play at all. He very well may be. He very well may be the best quarterback on this team right now. And I'm not, I of course, am hoping everybody stays healthy, but I think there is a decent shot that Arch Manning is the quarterback at the end of the season.
Whew, if y'all are looking for a rave tonight, it's at Jason Dick's house. They're about to fill that room with Kool-Aid and get after it. Come on.
You know what? I motioned before the show, and I was like, I'm just going to have some for myself as well. Let me have some of that.
Unreal. All right, Bo Edge, breakout player of the year.
Well, I'm going to try to I'd steal Chance's thunder one more time because I already went with Cedric Baxter and Jalen Catalong. So the obvious breakout player is the new receiver that he's already named. So I'll stay away from A.D. Mitchell if he can pronounce his first name correctly.
A.D.
Well done. Well done.
Okay, then I'll pick A.D. Mitchell. I'll go with Cedric Baxter. Like I bought all the Cedric Baxter stock that was available. Like okay. I think this guy is a transformative type running back. Not in the same lane as Bijan, but I think Baxter is too damn good, too damn electric to not get touches.
Yeah. I would agree with you if he had a different head coach and a play caller. All right.
Chance didn't see that one coming.
Chance Mock, are you going Mitchell? Where are you going?
I'm going Murphy just because of what JD said. No. My breakout player is DJ Campbell. I think it's a guy that comes on. He's the meanest guy on the offensive line. I think he's going to destroy people and do some phenomenal things. And I think for the first time in a long time, we're going to see that down and dirty guy that's just pissed off and plays line the way it's supposed to be played. And I think it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun to watch.
Texas fans, wait until you see this dude wearing number 2. Jonte Cook is my guy from DeSoto. I've been the president of the fan club for a while, ever since I saw his team win 7-on-7 in person in a steamy College Station situation. He's a blast to watch. Love the ball, the body control. Love just the attitude with which he goes about catching a ball. If they scheme it up right, I think Jonte Cook's the guy, the new guy that Texas fans are going to fall in love with. It is the Outsiders, and we're talking season predictions for the Longhorns. I think it's all out of the way except the record, gentlemen. I think it's time for those official predictions. All right, Jason Dick, if the breakout player is going to be Arch Manning, I can't wait to hear what the record's going to be. What do you like?
All right, can I withdraw? All right, the chat is lighting me on fire over here. I'll take Jonathan Brooks. All right.
I have never seen our text line blow up so much.
Woo! Did you? Hey, JD, he was serious.
JD, I was not ready for that one, okay?
Hey, JD also picked Chance Mock over Vince Young for the breakout player of the year.
Look, I was in the stands in 2004 yelling, can I get some Chance Mock in this mother? All right, and so, yeah, my talent evaluation is not always spot on. Sometimes I miss, but we'll see. I'm in a good mood today, gentlemen, and that's why I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna hope that I'm wrong. But I think 10-2 is the regular season record for the Horns. I have them losing in week 2 in Tuscaloosa. No shame in that. And then I think the lose a game you're not supposed to lose bug bites Texas one time. I don't know if it's TCU. I don't know if it's Thanksgiving Day versus Tech. I hope not. But I would be a fool to think that doesn't happen But I think 10-2 is the safe bet, and I think that's still good to get you in the Big 12 championship. And if some crazy things happen, maybe to the playoff, and Chance Mock keeps his beard.
Okay, Jason's
Very
going
important.
with 10-2. Bo Edge, what's your prediction for Texas?
I was 10-2 for a while, but right now I'm set 9-3. I can't predict us going to Alabama and winning a game. They haven't proven enough to me yet that they can go make that road trip and make that happen. I think we do blow the game one like we do every year. We're going to blow one game we shouldn't, and I think the Big 12 is going to blow one game that they shouldn't. I think at some point there will be a game where there's going to be a call that is so atrociously bad, and Texas isn't good enough to win by 10 every game. They're just not. So they're going to get into one of these close games, and there's going to be some god-awful penalty call or something that happens that takes one from them. I think they're going to go 9-3, still make the Big 12 title game, and win the Big 12.
JD Hack says he's bathing in the Kool-Aid right now at 11-1. All right, Chance Mock, you have already told folks you think Texas is going to the playoff. What's the regular season record that gets them there?
Well, first of all, I'm going to address what Bo said. Here's the thing that came out of last year's game, and don't ever discount this. This Texas team thinks they can play with Alabama. That's the difference. They're not walking into Alabama next weekend thinking, oh my God, can we play? They know they can play with them. They played with them last year, and if it's not for a bogus call in the end zone that was ridiculous, and our starting quarterback getting hurt, and our backup coming in and playing he played lights out, but on one wheel, then we win that ball game. I think we win in Tuscaloosa. I do, but I think we drop a game, and it's going to be one of those stupid ones. It's going to be somebody like Texas Tech. That's who it's going to be. It's going to be one of those that just sneaks up on you, and we're all going to be pissed off the following Monday. So I'm going 11-1. I do think that they make the playoffs, and I think I get to wear my beard when I go shirtless with my Bills Mafia family in Buffalo in December.
That is exciting. Also, if you missed last night's show, I am cooking up an idea for Chance of if he's right and Texas goes to the playoff, I have a gift, possibly. I think he would enjoy this gift. There's a little condition that goes with it, but I have a possible victory gift for Chance Mock that he might enjoy. That's coming up as well. Chance is going 11-1. I'm going with Bo. I'm going 9-3. I've kind of been there the whole time for Texas. I think they lose in Tuscaloosa, and I think there's a couple more games. I think there's more dangerous games on this schedule than the Kool-Aid drinkers are seeing and feeling. I think Waco, Fort Worth, hell, not that Houston's dangerous, but all three of those old Southwest Conference places, it would make me a little nervous if I'm a Texas fan because of what Bo said last year in the conference and all that. Plus, I just don't trust it all yet. I don't trust Steve Sarkisian to run the ball. I don't trust Steve Sarkisian to use all of his weapons in the biggest moments. I don't trust him to finish games, 4-10 in one-score games. We've been over that stuff. Not good on the road either. That's not 3-6, I believe, is the record on the road at Texas. I need to see it. I need to see some of this first before I can really go there. So I'll go 9-3, but I'm with Bo. It's 9-3, and that gets them to Jerry World. I think they're fighting for this conference title. Absolutely. I think the Big 12 is going to be a little bit of definitely a little bit of a battleground this year. I think 9-3 is going to get them in. So those are our official predictions on the season. We'll see where that goes. Jason is going with 10-2. Bo and I are going with 9-3, and Chance Mock says 11-1. The man who knows football is saying 11-1. The rest of us are probably idiots.
But here's the other thing, Chad, and let's don't discount. I understand where the records have been, but Roy said it, BJ said it. I think most of the guys that I talked to, this team hasn't been as talented as it could be for a very long time. And right now, you're looking at a team that I think talent beats worst talent 99% of the time. I mean, it just does. And I think this team is talented enough. Huh?
Less than 99. Are you crazy? I mean, Texas is more talented than 11 opponents every year the last decade, right? I mean, Alabama is more talented than them, but I guess some of those Oklahoma teams, Texas is more talented than almost every team they play ever.
Okay, well, I'll go 87% of the time.
Thank you.
87.2 if you want me to be exact.
No numbers on the outsiders. Outsiders do not believe in numbers. Come on now. We can't have that many numbers.
I'm the 1%er that says 11-1.
All right, 11
I want to
1.
believe it. In my heart, I'm 11-1. But on this, I've done this dance too long since the last time that we got excited, which was the 2000 era when things were great. You were a part of that. You understand how that worked out. Even some of those great teams you were on ran into some hiccups. And I think in a year where
Did we? We had one hiccup, and that was in Lubbock. One. That's the only game we lost in the state of Texas the entire time that I was there in 5 years. We don't count Cotton Bowl because we're not going to talk about it.
That was the hiccup every single year that I rode to Dallas.
Yeah, but how is that a hiccup when those teams were playing for national championships every year? I mean, they were a good team. That was the Alabama of that time, and when you look at it, the teams we were supposed to beat, we beat. And and we didn't beat them. We beat the piss out of them. I mean, Chad, I took my lumps against OU. You're going to have to take, over the 5 years I was there, we beat A&M by an average of 17 points a game. Mm-hmm. Like that. And that's a rivalry game with some very talented A&M teams back then. We beat the Kansas States that were really, really good back then. Nebraska was still good back then. Colorado, we shouldn't have lost in the Big 12. That was but other than that, I mean, Texas Tech, we took care of business. TCU, Baylor, we beat U of H, Rice. I mean,
Arkansas.
I think this is different.
Yeah. Bo, are you just why are you just trying to get on Chance about the pass tonight? What is going on?
Because his face is getting all red and he's getting heated. So I figured I'd throw him some shade.
You want Chance to put that helmet on back there and start headbutting his camera? Is that the idea? Is that what you're trying to do tonight? Come on now. All right, I tell you what, we will wrap. We're going to wrap it up.
Sex Panther.
We are going to wrap it up here. In fact, we have a special dick move of the week. Last night, we had the dick move of the week with the Dana Holgerson comments, but apparently we need another dick move of the week already on a Thursday. We'll get you that. But first, Bo is going to talk to you a little bit about Capital Solar. What do you got, Bo?
Are you tired of hearing about turning your AC up? Turn your thermostat to 78 or 80 or whatever the hell they say on the news. Constant noise about the rising cost of electricity. How about you reduce your tax liability? Capital Solar is your team. They can help you turn one of your home's largest operational expenses into an asset. If you own your house but rent your electricity, use the power of the Texas sun, and we all know it's beating down real hot right now, to become more energy independent. No money down. It's very simple. Reach out to Capital Solar USA for a free consultation. It's that simple. You scan the QR code, you call the number, you schedule an appointment, they come out, they tell you how they will save you money long-term and short-term. It's Capital Solar USA.
All right, we try to be cruel but fair here on The Outsiders, and Jason Dick has asked for time to attack one of the other outsiders. Jason, please continue.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I'm now in a combative mood, but
Yes.
My Arch Manning breakout play was so poorly received that, now I'm just picking on everybody. Bo, explain to me, I've heard it several times now. Explain to me how the referees are going to take a game from Texas this year. I know that all the other teams in the Big 12 are mad at us, and the commissioner is mad at us, but the officiating is not going to be this is message board loser material. And is the commissioner advising the officials to not give Texas the call? Just in this fan fiction that you've written where the officials are out to get us, how does it work? What is the setup? Are there secret phone calls?
Do I get a turn, or is this just going to be
no. I'm going to talk all the way till 10 o'clock.
This is like a presidential debate. You need to hear him finish, and then we'll give you 30 seconds to respond.
I can assure you I don't want to hear him finish.
People forget about the Arch Manning thing.
Face. You saw the commissioner of the Big 12 go to Lubbock and tell them that he wanted to come to Texas and watch them win. The commissioner is outspokenly against Texas and Oklahoma. And what I'm saying is we've seen it before. It's very limited, but I watched the Oklahoma State game where Oklahoma State had 0 penalties called against them for 60 minutes. I watched where Texas had a defensive holding penalty called on a defensive tackle, and somehow Oklahoma State didn't have a holding penalty called. What I'm saying is in games there will be a couple close games. And if the edict has gone down, and that's just how it is, there will be a game where there will be a phantom holding call or a pass interference call or something else that changes the outcome of a game. Now, should Texas be good enough to overcome it? Yes. And I'm not trying to be message board conspiracy theorist. I'm hoping I'm wrong. My heart says 10-2, but if I was going to bet on it, I'd bet on 9-3 because something's going to go screwball. It's the Big 12. They do everything wrong. That's why. That's one of the reasons we're leaving. It's not just about money. We're in the conference that can't get shit right.
Well, and
that should be the logo they put up at Jerry World. Big 12. We can't get shit right. That would be a good logo.
And you guys know this. And to Jason's point, plausible deniability. Okay, you don't have to go in and, as the commissioner of the Big 12, tell the officials, this is what I want you to do. You speak through the media. You tell them, this is what I want. I'm coming to Austin for that Texas Tech game, and I want to watch Texas Tech win. And I want to, that all they have to do is put it out there, right? You're putting it in the mind. This is what the boss man wants. It's like in politics. They don't have to tell anybody that works in any of these departments or bureaus what to do. They know what they want them to do, and so they do it. So then they said, I didn't tell them to do it. No, you didn't. But when you speak to the media, you're telling them exactly what you want them to do.
Look at that, Jason. They're both into it now. You buying that?
Look.
No, I think we should win regardless.
Yeah. I have no doubt that the officiating is going to be bad. Not just targeting the Longhorns. I just don't know that that is going to be. I don't know. I just feel like that's something that middle of the road loser teams do. Okay, we're Texas. You're not.
But Chance mentioned it earlier. One of the reasons we lost the Alabama game was because of an atrocious call that turned what should have been.
It got reviewed.
It got reviewed, and they still got it wrong.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is no, that wasn't the reason we lost the Alabama game. It was a bad call, but we had opportunities to win that game anyway. But if that happens 6 or 7 times in the course of a season where that's the level of officiating we're getting, one of those games ain't going to go our way. Or we'll make the game-winning kick, and they'll call some stupid, formation penalty. And then they'll miss the next one. We're not good enough to blow everybody out. So I just have it's a feeling in my gut, and it's a big ass gut, so it makes it a strong feeling that we're gonna get jammed.
Yeah, and again for me, guys, it goes back to connecting it with the Sark stat. Both years at Texas, 7 one-score games, and he only wins 2 of those games. So if he puts himself in those situations 1 too many times or 2 too many times, he could get bitten. There's just some human nature. The other thing I would mention, Jason, I've watched it happen with teams leaving this conference before. I watched Nebraska get screwed on the way out. I watched A&M get some weird calls on the way. The game in 2011 was what it was. It was clunky and stuff. There were some awful calls against the Aggies late in that game. That's at home. There was just some weird stuff that took over, and it's like, really? You're going to go with that there? Okay, all right. And it sounds like an excuse from a fan base when you do it afterwards. But if I'm a Texas fan, it'd be in the back of my mind. And I will say all season long that it's not Texas fans making excuses. It's them just kind of preparing based on what they've seen. Because we've watched – I mean, the game – Texas fans have watched an official physically bump their coach, and their coach got flagged for it. Like, once you see that – I think a Texas fan is able to say, okay, there are grassy knolls and multiple shooters and all of it, right? Like it's all there.
But at the end of so here's the thing though. If Texas comes out and this is why I believe Mac's philosophy used to be, let's start fast, let's punch them in the mouth, and let's let them know how the game's, let's set the tone early. Mm-hmm. And if we do that, and Sark comes out and don't play this rope-a-dope in the first couple plays. Let's have 10 scripted plays where we see how they're going to line up. And, we're going to go 3 and out on the first series or maybe pick up a first down. No, to hell with that. Come out and start punching teams in the mouth and get out ahead early, and you take the officials out of it. Now, if it starts getting atrociously bad where we're getting long ball touchdowns called back on phantom holdings, okay, then but that's obvious to everybody. So then you don't have to complain about it because everybody sees it. Everybody knows what's going on. So the way I look at it, go out, punch people in the mouth. It's done. Like, you don't have to worry, but take the officials out of the game.
Yeah, I hope you're right, Chance. I 100% hope you're right.
All right, before we wrap up here, Bo, do you want to fit in an extra Dick move of the week? Jason Dick normally does this on Wednesdays. Jason, would you be willing to concede the Dick move of the week time to Bo here?
Well, I agreed to in pre-production, so I guess so. But you guys been so mean to me now. Now maybe I take it back.
Maybe not.
No, yes, please. This sounds like an emergency. So we have an emergency Thursday night dick move of the week. Bo Edge, what's the problem, my man?
What do you got?
I get home at 8 o'clock, turn on my TV, want to watch Florida, Utah, right? I go to ESPN like I had. I went to ESPN. This crap pops up on my screen. What the?
Yeah.
This is ludicrous that it is 2023 and ESPN isn't showing Florida, Utah because of some stupid contract dispute with Disney. And even beyond that, that's fine. I'm a Spectrum customer, and that is what it is. I also pay Disney and ESPN $19.99 a month for Disney Plus. That includes ESPN Plus.
Well,
How
you're
can
one of the
I not
few
go to
people left
ESPN
doing
Plus?
that.
Huh?
I said you're one of the few people left doing that.
Well, my daughter likes the shows. She's 15, so I'm gonna pay the $19.99. Okay, they threw in Hulu, so I get Hulu with it.
All right.
Man, yeah, we hope they figure that out quickly. That sucks to do to football fans.
SportsCenter's bad enough, but now I miss that. I can't watch SportsCenter tonight, and I don't even like SportsCenter anymore. But what the hell? Where it's 2023 and I can't watch ESPN on my TV.
How about DirecTV? AT&T Uverse, Xfinity,
and they've all had the same disputes. Yeah. Like they've all had the same disputes with different channels at different times. I hate when they do this to the customers.
Fubo $75 a month so I can watch the Astros because we can't get the Astros in town. There's only a limit. I'm spending $500 a month for TV packages and I can't even get sports.
Just buy regular cable. It's $100. You'll save money.
I have regular cable. They won't play ESPN.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah, be
a real
aware.
Country gorilla Bo would have a cable running out of his neighbor's back door into his house. Okay.
Oh, that's happening after the show. I'm going right over to my neighbor's house and tapping in.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's tough. If you're a Spectrum customer, just realize ESPN, ESPN2, SEC, Longhorn Network, ESPN Plus, that all just went away. Hopefully it's temporary, and hopefully it's fixed by game 3 for Texas, because that's Wyoming, and I think that's LHN. So we'll keep our eyes peeled for that. Before we get out of here, Bo, let's tell them about Stuffed Cajun Meat Market. No matter what their TV is or isn't doing, they can always go get some good Cajun food.
Of course you can. It's right there off 620. All you got to do, you can scan any of these 3 QR codes. Whatever you're looking for, they have. Now, if you got your tailgate for this weekend, go to the tailgate menu. They have a variety of packages. They have an appetizer trio. They have a gumbo trio. They have Cajun potato salad. They have etouffee. They have, at last count, 7 different types of sausage and 3 different types of boudin, all made fresh in the store. Just like a meat deli counter, you can see it all right in front of you. Pick out what you want. You're good to go. It's Stuffed Foods Cajun Meat Market. Scan the QR code, order in advance, pick it up, go down to DKR. I'm going by tomorrow to get some lunch with a friend. I'm going to pick up a quart of, I promised a bucket, so I might have to get a gallon bucket of Casey's Boudin dip to take down to the stadium when I take my son down there. And hook up with Jay and his friends. I'm going to bring him a big old bucket of Casey's Boudin dip. Now, I don't know. I'm going to have to ask him because I honestly don't know. I've never tried it, and Chance can make fun of me for having never tried something I'm saying is good. But I've tried everything else that's stuffed, and it's all good. I don't know what you dip in Boudin dip. I don't know if I bring bread. I don't know if I bring chips. Like, do y'all have bread and chips?
Anything?
Is there anything that's ever been bad with a Frito chip?
Everything, anything, and everything. You get a great queso. Who cares
in charge
what
of eating, Bo? Yeah.
So if I bring the Home Depot bucket full of Boudin dip, can you at least provide chips?
I'll strap it on. Let's go, baby.
In fact, Bo, I think if I know my math like I think I do at a tailgate, if you go 5 dips of a chip and then 1 dip of like broccoli or cauliflower, that's a balanced diet right there. You're eating low-cal. I mean, come on.
If I ever eat broccoli at a tailgate,
yeah.
I want a chance to walk up and kick me square in the nuts. Because that ain't never happened.
Chance.
Unless it's a Jägermeister
backdoor
broccoli
cover.
piece.
Backdoor cover alert. Florida has scored. Went for 2. They have the ball. They are driving. Florida plus 5.5 is still alive, my man.
There it is. There it is. Very nice. By the way, before we get out of here, we did grab a super
because he can't watch it.
Jonas, a super chat, $10. This says for the Corey Redding chat, if the name Albert Hollis doesn't come up during that chat, I call personal foul. So
let me just say, I was there.
You gonna jot that down?
I don't need to. I was there. I witnessed it.
Let everybody know who Albert Hollis is real quick.
Albert Hollis was one of the top recruits coming out of high school, and he was here with DJ Williams, and one was out of Georgia, one was out of California, and we'll save it. We'll get Corey to talk about it.
Okay, he'll tell the whole story. All right.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good one.
He was a big-time recruit at the moment, is what you're saying. Okay.
He was huge, and he walked around with a camera. See, we didn't have camera phones. He was walking around 6th Street with a camera, and everybody's like, dude, put your camera away. Yeah, could you imagine that today?
Oh, my God. Okay, so Corey Redding, Corey Redding is confirmed for Wednesday. Is that true, Chance?
It's confirmed.
There you go. That is going to be Wednesday on The Outsiders. That is this week for The Outsiders. We'll be back Monday. And by the way, I didn't even ask. We're going to do a Monday. I know it's Labor Day, but it's Bama week. Y'all want to do a Monday night show?
I'm in.
Yes?
I'm in.
Good? Okay, just check it.
No days
it's
off,
Monday
Chris.
at 9. I got to go to
No
work.
days off, Chris Abbott.
No days off.
Enough. So we'll go Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Oh, I need coat in a poncho shirt. Come on, that's a camo version right there. Go to ponchooutdoors.com. Thanks to Poncho for being one of our great partners here on The Outsiders. Thanks to Specs for helping us with the chat line. Thanks to, of course, Stuffed, Cajun Meat Market, all the other great sponsors. And remember, you got all the shows tomorrow on a Friday. You've got the watch along with Jeff Ketchum and myself starting at 2:20 on Saturday, and then the famous post-game show, wrapping it all up, whatever happens, with Ketch, with Anwar, with Jason Sukamel. With as soon as the game is done, be right here on Orangebloods Live. We're going to have a lot of fun on Saturday. Hopefully the Longhorns look good. Real quick, everybody, is Texas covering 35 points, I think is the number. I know Chance says they do because he made it one of his picks. Jason Dick, do they cover 35?
I hate laying 5 touchdowns, but I got Texas 56-10 over Rice.
56-10, that would cover it. Bo, are they covering that number?
I got 51-10. So, yeah, they cover.
51-10. All right. They say they're going to cover. The Outsiders are picking Texas to cover that number. Let's see if they can do it. We will talk to you on Monday. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for liking. Thank you for jumping in and seeing what we are doing here at Orangebloods Live. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for all the great chats tonight. Shout out again to the Specs chat line. All right, Chance is going to go check out and see if he can get that Florida pick right, and we're going to talk to you on Monday night at 9 for the next Outsiders show after the first big weekend of college football. Everybody have a great night. Stay safe, stay cool, and enjoy the football. Let's go.